Alrighty, hello, welcome back to another tutorial. As discussed in the last tutorial, we're going to get into some docstrings. What is a docstring? Think of docstrings as like another way to comment out code, except you can actually print docstrings. So what I mean by that, so we're going to do def. So obviously for functions, you use def. Let's just say my function. My function will be passed in. We're going to run this, and we're going to do a docstring. How do you use a docstring for this? Triple quotation marks. Should autocomplete after the first two, and then it's gonna, you just press enter. It's gonna press return. What are you returning? I don't know. And then we run the function, my function. Sorry, my function dot underscore doc. So now, sorry, we should print it out. Run this. I can't type apparently. Alright. There we go. So you see how it has that space? Two lines, or one line from the top. Yeah, you can also pass in like a parameter. Let's just say param. You go to do the docstring again. What's it going to offer you now? You press enter. It's going to be like, oh, you have a parameter now. What's the parameter going to be equal to? You could say, I don't know. It's going to be a list. And what are you going to return after this function executes? You're going to return 5. I don't know. Run this. Exact same thing. You can also like just type random stuff in here, like my name is Jensen. Run that. You're gonna get that. Yeah, you can also run it normally. Print my function with the value of 1, 2, 3, and let's return param. So we're going to return the parameter passed in, run this. We're going to get 1, 2, 3 at the bottom, and then the actual docstring. Comment this out. We're only going to get this part. Comment this out. We're only going to get this part. Yeah, it's just another way to kind of comment code. You can obviously just do it the normal way of just doing this. Yes. And then you obviously realize it's not going to actually print that out because it's not in the docstring. If you were to put it inside the docstring, though, run this, it's obviously going to get printed out now. Yeah, that's basically docstrings. It's just another way to kind of comment out code, or if you want code to be printed out in the console above a certain argument or certain output you wanted. That's just another way to do so. Yeah, now we're getting into parameters or default parameters with functions. So in Python or in any language really, you can have default parameters. What is a default parameter? What does it mean when something's set to default? In general, it means that it is being set to a default value, so it has an original value. So let's say the parameter has an original value. Just say we're using lists again. Let's say we have 1, 2, 1, 3, and 4, whatever. We're gonna call my function. Yeah, we're gonna call my function, and we're gonna return param. Can't spell. Return param. Run the function. Actually print it. So remember we discussed in the earlier videos how you have to add a parameter in when it asks for a parameter in this case. So since it has a default value, what do you think it's going to return? What do you think it's going to do? Do I need to pass a parameter in since it has a default value, or since it has an actual value already, or no? So it's just going to print it, the default value. So if you don't pass something in this case, it's just going to print or return the value in this case. So print, I don't know, let's say print my function with the value of 1, 5, 6. So now we're passing in a value inside the parameter. What do you think that's going to do? Is it going to stick to this one, or is it going to override it? Alright, I'm just going to run it. So in this case, actually, sorry, I'm going to get rid of this one. In this case, it's going to override it. So when you don't pass a value in, it's just going to print the default value, or when you do pass a value in, it's going to override the default value. But yeah, take this one as an example here. So say we have cat. We have this cat wouldn't action, which is going to be a default value of meow, and if you gave it food, which there is no default value. So now we know for a fact we need to add a value in. Let's just say cat food. Cat food in this case. Yeah. Lovely fur, the breed in this case, which is Siamese, and then its state, which is going to be equal to still hungry. So run this with the value of cat food. It's still going to get this. So we only need to pass in the one value because these will all be set to their default values. Where this one has no default value. If you're going to run this on its own without actually values passed in, it's just going to do it like that. Now you can also override the values, like let's just say dog food, cat food, I mean. And then states is full. So this is going to override the second parameter in this case, which is going to be state. Run this, and it's going to be like it's full, which is the value of state, which is going to be overriding so hungry. But yeah, that's kind of overriding and kind of making sure you're using proper arguments. But yeah. All right, now we're gonna get into some more complex stuff here. So let's just say we wanted to change this value to let's just say change the action to bark. Run this now. It's gonna be the action's gonna be, where's the action? Bark. There it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what that one's gonna do. But yeah, that's basically the gist of that. When it comes to functions and arguments, and default arguments or default parameters. But yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, drop them below. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe or like. But yeah, that's basically it. See you in the next one.